I'm Bobby Ches, a three-time world champion, Showtime expert analyst for more than 10 years. You're locked in to the On Ringside.
Hour one of the books. Hour two underway for the hybrid episode Beyond Ringside Live and Back to Basics, going to the Back to Basics portion of the program. And no, I didn't go anywhere. God knows I tried. They won't let me. Not for an extended period of time. Not without good medication and really cute nurses. So that's all I'm going to say. Fast Study Layne back in Studio 1B, also called my little corner of the cave. Welcoming in Back to Basics and sometimes on Shooter's Gallery, tag team partner, the Phenom Phil Stamper. What's up, brother?
Not much at all. I am fair to partly cloudy.
Sounds very familiar. I've heard that line before.
I don't know where.
Oh, maybe about 50 years I said it coming out of the womb. I don't know. Along with about 35 other phrases that have been absconded with over the years on a slow day. But first off, before we go any further, you'd give us an update last week. Let me go ahead and get you, even though there's only been a few days that have passed since we last spoke on air and off air. How's the progression coming?
It's going well. I actually met with the surgeon that did the surgery this morning, so I got to hear a review of my X-ray and how everything's progressing. I'm sort of progressing in his reflection semi-normally. The incision looks good. The fusion looks like it's starting to take place. That itself takes time. I'm still restricted to 15 pounds of weight bearing. But I can begin weight-bearing exercises that I couldn't do before. As long as I can do it repetitively 20 times in a row, I'm okay with that load of weight. And then in 2 weeks I can progress 5 more pounds, and then 2 more weeks after that 5 more pounds. So it's a progress in motion. It's been an interesting time with it. I still have to wear a soft collar when I drive. I have some swelling inside of my neck from, they tore through my neck to get to my spine. So there's swelling up against my esophagus, so I feel it whenever I eat anything.
Yeah.
It's normal, nothing outside of, the weirdness, but it's going to take some more time for that to go away. So I still feel it when I eat, which is weird. But yeah, and in 2 to 4 weeks, I can start physical therapy, which, yay.
Oh, yes, that would be called legalized torture that the CIA can't stop.
Right, exactly. Well, we do have a president that might make an executive order.
Now.
Sorry.
It's okay. I don't, like I said, and Phil knows that there's some things about the political realm that I will speak on and other things that I won't speak on. And look, I do believe in shameless promotion. I also believe in shameless torture if it arrives to a positive end. But, hey, what the hell? Surfboarding was always a good thing. And if you can't surf, I'm sorry. I can understand why they would put you on a surfboard in the water. But, if you're scared of water, if you're scared of boards, hey, why not strap them to a surfboard and let them go through the water? You realize I went a long way for that setup that you didn't jump on?
No.
Damn. In the words of Jeff Dunham's favorite character, Peanut, damn. But something I am going to go for. Very clearly, very quickly, and actually not sure about that quick part right now. I'm not fast, Eddie Layne. I'm moderately rapid. Cough button. If you go to beyondringside.com, the calendar page has been updated. First off, my tag team partner on the other end of this line does remarkable work. We are 2 of the most shameless individuals when it comes to promotion, especially for the right price. Hot dog handshake and a Coca-Cola don't cut it. Unless it's your first year in the business, and guess what? Neither of us are green anymore. Me for a long time. That's a word I didn't really expect myself to say. It still has connotations. But if you are in the realm of organized sports and or sports entertainment, and you are looking to get the word out, There are 2 email addresses. Number 1, specifically for pro wrestling, is... You're slipping.
I am.
Stamper.
Yes.
At WrestleReality.com.
Yes. Sorry, I really got super distracted for 5 seconds. I apologize. Yes.
It's all right. Are you doing another online Q&A during the show?
No, I am trying to clear my inbox, which is a mistake to be doing at the same time that I am doing this.
But it does not matter if you're in the lower 48. It does not matter if you're in the 50 United States. Canada, Mexico, does not matter. The websites that, I personally run BeyondRingside.com. But the calendar that Phil puts out is seen internationally. And I'm very thankful for the fact that we're able to bring it over to BeyondRingside.com. Updates are done Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, depending on release. So if you have a pro wrestling event, it doesn't matter if it's Germany, Canada, Timbuktu, or Mississippi. All those foreign lands. Stamper at WrestleReality.com. For pro wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, other sporting events, BeyondRingside at gmail.com. Both of us will be more than happy to find a way to add them, because the fun part of this whole scenario is if one person who didn't know about your live event catches the calendar and says, "Ooh, that's close to me, I should go," and they come in and they buy a ticket, buy popcorn, and enjoy your show, as long as it's a good show, then our job is done, right, Phil?
Absolutely.
I mean, there are companies that Phil and I both contract for as far as doing PR and marketing. But as far as the calendar goes, both of our calendars, it's a labor of love and a labor of respect for this industry. Now, for those who do send us show information, if you do want people who can take over, help you with your website, your social media, and all your other marketing needs, get in touch with both of us. I'm honest about it. There's some stuff that I can do and other stuff that I can't do. If it's something that I know that I can't do that Phil can, I will send you in his direction in a heartbeat. And I know Phil returns a favor on that one, right?
Absolutely.
But as stated,
I'll gladly take a paycheck any day of the week, though. So if anybody wants to throw money my way, we're going to have a conversation.
It's not throwing money. It's sending it to a great cause for a good reason. It's called work. I just said the W word. Holy crap. I said the word green and work in the same half hour. Somebody shoot me, please.
You said it.
I know. And there's a lot of stuff. Phil and I are notorious for going shameless on both Back to Basics and Shooter's Gallery. That's one of the things we do. And one of these days, I'm going to get Garth Brooks to give me clearance to use that word. Trust me on this one. I will find a way. But before we start heading off in that direction, we started a conversation in the previous hour with yours truly, Mark Bowman and Brooks Logan, about Mania. And the factor of the 3 matches that are already slated to be on the pre-show. Have you seen that update?
No, I have not.
Okay. What I have here, like I said, I never take anything totally verbatim, so to speak, but there are some sites that I actually pay attention to because they're not all in it for themselves, and we know exactly what sites I'm talking about when I say that. That's why I don't mention that name on the station. Ego the size of the California coastline and about as useless in an earthquake.
Pit.
The kickoff show is going to include the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Tonight on SmackDown, they released a graphic with probably about 30 people involved. And this one is on the pre-show. Now, lo and behold, I do ask the question. I'm sure you may not have seen the graphic that has the full lineup on it, but I'm sure you've seen one of the ones that has a partial lineup on it. If there were a big 3 in your book, based on the names that you know of that are going to be in there, who would they be as far as your 3 favorites?
Well, I kind of want to figure out what they're doing with Sami Zayn. I feel like he's the next one, at least on the Raw roster, to get some recognition, but I don't know what that means. And it would be interesting if they put him in a situation where he would win this Battle Royal, because he's not a big guy. And typically in the last few years, a physically bigger guy has won it. Other than that, it's almost like Big Show or Braun Strowman. That there is a big rumor out there now that Braun Strowman is going to get some big thing after WrestleMania, even though apparently he recently pissed off Vince McMahon. So is that going to be a thing? So I really think it's going to be between those three: Braun Strowman, Big Show, or Sami Zayn.
I like the concept of Zayn being put in everybody's top three because I think Brooks actually put him in there as well, and I'm not sure about Bowman. But I just don't see this being where he would excel. Granted, the underdog from the underground, yada freaking yada. And it seems like he has toiled. It's kind of like Monday Night on Raw. Lo and behold, yet again, hey, we need to go ahead and threaten Sami Zayn with his job. Let's dust off him and Kevin Owens and throw him back out there in a no DQ match.
Yeah.
Wow. As deep as the roster runs, you couldn't have put him into a tag team handicap match or something like that with somebody else who deserves airtime?
Well, and it felt so weird the way even Jericho got inserted into that match. It felt like, well, it didn't even feel like he had a purpose for really being there, because with one punch, the man who was the first undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Champion got knocked to the ground.
Right.
And it's like, I don't understand. Like, I thought he was supposed, he's Chris Jericho. He's in this big feud with Kevin Owens. One shot dropped him.
Yeah. And it wasn't Big Show's WMD.
Right. And so I'm kind of there's almost a part of me that is almost shocked that wasn't the kickoff show. I don't know how to word this, so it's not going to come out in any way my brain wants to really, truly articulate it. But, I heard people say for a while that Kevin Owens would not make it to WrestleMania because he doesn't have the traditional wrestler body, that he wouldn't make it to WrestleMania as the champion. And I think that was total bunk, or I thought that was total bunk. But now looking at it, it's like, well, is that true? Was it? No, it was just a matter of circumstance because of Goldberg coming back. I don't know. It's interesting. It's kind of telling, since that was a statement people were reflecting on without knowing if it was really true or not.
And see, here's the thing. They basically destroyed two storylines with one belt, because the Universal title match, if they had left it Owens-Jericho, that could have been a main event that people would have really sunk their teeth into. Taking the Universal title out of there and making it a revenge match for the U.S. title, to me, lessens the viability of the match. I would still watch the match if I'm going to be here. No, I'll be at Six Flags this coming Sunday. I don't give a darn. Because there are 3 matches in WrestleMania right now that actually get my attention. And do you have the card in front of you out of curiosity? If not, I can send it over to you real quick.
I will pull it up right now.
Okay. I'll go ahead and do this one also. One of the other matches has allegedly been confirmed for the pre-show. The women's title match on SmackDown. Mickie James, Carmella, Natalya, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and announced tonight, Naomi will be cleared to return in time for this Sunday. I can see this match being on the pre-show. Mm-hmm. But with everything else going on, I don't see why it should be. But when they announced tonight that Naomi was going to be back in time for Mania, first thing popped in my head, scratch everything else. Naomi gets the belt back. She gets her WrestleMania moment for as long as she's been there. The only other person who in my book deserves it, Natalya. Genuinely deserves that WrestleMania moment. So between everybody else that's in this match, I'm either going Naomi 1, Natalya 2. Your thoughts?
I really think that's kind of a good call to make. I'm going to... The only slight change to that, and now when I say this, it is without being able to have the chance to watch SmackDown. I feel like I get home right as SmackDown is ending. So I have missed a little bit of some of the storylines that have been going on. But the only thing I know about Mickie James' involvement and her kind of statements about how she feels that, everybody copied her, that there's been a women's wrestling revolution going on for a lot longer, and she was part of it way before these new girls think that they have what it takes. But other than that, and the Carmella with James Ellsworth, and Naomi, like I don't know if I don't know all the concept of all the storylines going involved, so I would say the only conversation coming out of it seems like it would be Naomi for her WrestleMania moment because it's her town, or it's going to be Carmella based on the storyline.
I can't see them putting Carmella over right now, but that's just me. I don't think genuinely, and this is where I have no problem drawing heat for telling the truth. I don't think she brings enough to the table. And the storyline between her and Ellsworth, or Carmelsworth, or whatever the hell it was called, did nothing for so many people. It was met with a rousing round of apathy. And from that vantage point, she's not really shown that much. I mean, granted, I'm not going to put her in the same classification as Eva Marie, which just needs to be a no-show, which rumor has it her contract is not going to be renewed. Don't know where that came from. Don't care where it came from. I just think that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not Super Train. But it's a 1970s television reference. Let it go. Also on the kickoff show, for the Cruiserweight title, Austin Aries versus Neville, the greatest man that ever lived versus the king of the Cruiserweights. Phil, your thoughts on this match?
I did actually hear earlier today that this was going to be on the pre-show, and it came from people who were very disappointed. And now I will say, I think, though I enjoy watching cruiserweights wrestle, I don't like production-wise how they have been utilized in WWE. I think for whatever reason they have been slightly diminished in their use. I think I've talked about how I've noticed that they pop down the crowd noise whenever the cruiserweights come out. And so I think that's just disappointing. I don't think they've been utilized as cruiserweights. I think they've just been utilized as, guys who can wrestle who are smaller. Oh, and sometimes there's a flippy thing. And I think that's a misrepresentation of the cruiserweight style, and I think it's a misuse of them. That also being said, Austin Aries was the heavyweight champion of other companies.
Yeah, I know.
And him being utilized as the cruiserweight champion, I've heard the argument used before. Well, the kickoff show is to sell the product, is to sell the WWE, to make people want to turn into the rest of the program. Yes, people buy into battle royals. Yes, and you can make an argument that, well, that's why they're going to put Austin Aries in this moment, because it will get more people interested, and Neville, I should say too. It'll get more people interested in the rest of WrestleMania. I don't know if I buy into that. I feel like there's other things they could do, and if that was the case, that this was to be a highlight reel of things to get into the rest of WrestleMania, then they wouldn't have put the women's match there.
I'll go one better, that they would not have put the Aries Neville match in the pre-show. They would put I agree with Mark Bowman and Brooks Logan. We all three share the sentiment from hour one that it should be the first match on the card. It should be the first match on the main broadcast. Can you imagine what kind of a message that would send to the locker rooms? Can you imagine what kind of a standard that would throw down to the locker rooms? Can you imagine the punk card that the rest of the roster would have to pick up?
I'm shaking my head like you can see it. Like, absolutely. I totally agree with that.
I mean, and let's look at some of the stuff that is going to be on the main card. And like I said, we're 26 after the top of the hour on this March 28th edition of Back to Basics Beyond Ringside Live. All of the above. Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. Look, I'm all in favor of this match, but I don't think it's a WrestleMania match. I have a world of respect for Shane McMahon because he has no fear whatsoever when it comes to taking the monster bump. AJ Styles should be in the heavyweight championship mix one way or the other. I don't care who says what. Styles had a banner last few months, doing everything that was asked for him to do. But now he gets the equivalent of there's no such thing as a short-term blow-off match with Shane McMahon, because this is going to have to continue Tuesday on SmackDown. But, I mean,
And I'm only, and again, I have been watching SmackDown. I also knew that this match was coming about, and I've seen the clips because they've shown the clips on Raw for it. So isn't it that this is his outgoing match and he's leaving SmackDown based on the fact that he attacked Shane McMahon, but it's like the last little ditch jab? I thought, and I could be completely wrong with that.
Lo and behold, if they were to bring Sami Zayn to SmackDown and AJ Styles to Raw, I think you'd have a totally different chemistry lineup. But I think AJ Styles would get lost in the shuffle on Monday Night Raw. Honestly, I don't see it. Now, granted, Owens Styles would be a hellacious matchup. Styles and Jericho was a hellacious matchup. But I don't see how even... Okay, Roman Reigns would benefit from this match because Styles can make a matchstick look good. But can he help Roman Reigns look good?
That's a very good... Well, AJ Styles did make Roman Reigns look good. Yeah. When they met at, was it AJ's second pay-per-view? I think that's why AJ got the World Heavyweight Championship, because he made Roman Reigns look amazing.
And that ain't easy to do, kids. But, and I'm going to be, like I said, I know that based on what I said in the first hour, I'm going to get crucified all over again this hour. At Beyond Ringside on Twitter, at Fast Eddie Layne, Layne on Twitter. What I'm about to say has no representation of anything Phil may be thinking at this exact moment. There is no mother freaking chance in hell you can get me to buy into the fact that John Cena and Nikki Irrelevant versus The Miz and Maurice is a WrestleMania match. It's not. Cena Miz would be. Leave the squeezes and the one-trick ponies at the house. Or let them stay in the corners.
It's very Macho Man, Scary Sherry versus Dusty Rhodes and the Sweet Sapphire-esque.
So you're saying Miz and Maurice are Dusty and Sapphire?
See, I can't even go there. I think it's almost split. I feel like you have the team of Macho and Sapphire versus
There ain't nothing about Nikki Bella anywhere close to the realm of Sapphire. Although I think Nikki is probably more clueless to the business than Sapphire was to begin with.
Now, see, I don't know if I buy that. I really do honestly believe that after seeing Nikki Bella, like, she re-examined herself and she has tried to be more than what we have seen from her in the past. I really do believe that, but is what she is. The Miz is what he is. Maurice is what she is. John Cena is what he is. If anything, this is John Cena's goodbye moment. If everything's to be held true that this is his outgoing departure from the WWE, except, of course, maybe that occasional random meetup down the road. If this is true to his departure, I do think that honors the commitment that he's put into the WWE. I'm kind of shrugging a little bit. No, it won't be a high quality match, but I also don't think an Austin Aries Neville, though I know it would be good, is going to be the same kind of match I know that they would typically have if they weren't in the WWE right now having this match.
I have a $5 bet that I'm laying out there that John is going to propose to Nikki after the match.
Huh.
Up for it?
I am not up for it because I'm interested in why you might be feeling that.
For the series, for the mid-season or season finale of Total Bellas, what better way to send it out than for John to propose to Nikki on the grandest stage of them all, the ultimate thrill ride, WrestleMania?
I mean, that is true. And what we repeat the Heaven Hell SummerSlam?
Yeah. Yeah.
A new road to heaven and hell. I don't know.
I remember what you're talking about, yeah. But yeah, that is the first thing that had popped in my head the second the match was made official. I knew the rumors were there, but the minute the match was made official and all of the ribs that have been thrown, all the barbs that have been shown from The Miz and Maurice over to John and Irrelevant, just basically doing she signed a contract to be his girlfriend. Da-da-da-da-da, I love you, da-da-da, the Robo-Cena, or as I like to call him, the Cena-bot. What better way at the end of the match for John Cena and Nikki Bella to get the last laugh on Miz and Maurice, win, lose, or draw, and to have the entire wrestling world talking than to shoot this for Total Bellas live at WrestleMania, the proposal of John Cena to Nikki Bella. It makes too much sense. I'm willing to call Danny Sheridan and put money on it right now. I don't care what the over-under is.
Okay.
Are you with me?
I'm not going to accept said bet, but I'm willing to see your point of view on it.
Can you think of a reason why they wouldn't?
Because as far as I know, it's John Cena who's going somewhere, not Nikki. Right. So keep Nikki around and then do it later down the road. Do it for Total Bellas separate from WrestleMania, because everybody's already watching WrestleMania. So if they were going to build to it as part of a storyline, that they would build to it as part of a storyline.
The other major bombshell that I'm seeing that is a complete and total possibility, even though I think it's on the wrong show, it would be better suited for SmackDown Tuesday night against the Usos. But I'm willing to buy into the possibility and the rumors that the Hardys would be a last-minute addition into the triple threat ladder match for the Raw Tag Team titles. If nothing else, I'd be willing to bet that they make their debut. If they were to make their debut, because the Hardys have already had a WrestleMania moment. The Hardys have had freaking tag team moments all the way up and down the chain.
Right. I don't think the Hardys coming in at WrestleMania would do anything to benefit the Hardys. Or WWE. Again, this is WrestleMania. This is supposed to be the culmination of all the great things that have been happening over the course of the last year.
It's not.
I know it doesn't really feel like it, and a lot of things feel like it's been half the card's been made in the last 2 weeks. But allegedly, a lot of the plans are moved towards this. So, this is the biggest event of the year. So why not save the Hardys for, at the very least, the Monday night after WrestleMania.
Give that crowd something to talk about.
Yeah, and that's just it too. I think that crowd would totally get it, so it would better represent the Hardys further down the road on future WWE programming. Whereas, let's say you don't use the Hardys for a month and then you randomly bring them in. Yeah, there'll be an interest. People will be like, "Oh my gosh, the Hardys!" But I don't think you'll get quite the same reaction. Now, something that's new this year is not only do you have the Raw after WrestleMania, you have the live SmackDown after WrestleMania. And I don't know if that's a whole new element that we have yet to see before, and how that crowd will react as well.
Yeah, because SmackDown was on Friday, even though it might have been live at that point. Had been back and forth. But from that vantage point, I have to sit back and say, will SmackDown, I know they will be able to carry the momentum coming out of Mania and Raw. But will the crowd be able to rise to the occasion? When even Philly was kind of flat this yesterday.
I watched about 2/3 of Raw, and I really thought the Philly crowd was generous with a lot of things. I really expected...
Especially that 9th CM Punk chant.
All right.
Oh, please.
There was... When they basically applauded the Big Show, and were so happy for him, I was like, okay. Even Roman Reigns didn't get as heavy of a chorus of boos as he normally typically got.
Right.
They really bought into the New Day stuff. There was a lot of things that crowd did. Again, they were just I think they did have energy. Now, I don't think it was a full-blown what we would love to see from a Philly crowd, to be very honest. but I really thought, that was a good town to visit the Monday leading into WrestleMania. Your typical louder towns, Philly, Chicago, those are better places to be.
Boston.
I think what is interesting about just this weekend is, and I know we're going to transition to talk about this later, but the tremendous amount of professional wrestling events that are happening in Orlando, starting, if not tonight, then tomorrow for certain.
Tomorrow.
Leading all the way up until Monday morning at midnight-ish, after WrestleMania.
Right.
There are non-stop events.
Oh, God, yes. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this one out real quick. And by the way, for the record, the 3 matches that I actually would want to pay attention to during the WrestleMania card, Cruiserweight title match, U.S. title match, Owens-Jericho, and the WWE SmackDown Live Championship, and that would be Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. Because Wyatt, to me, is going to get his WrestleMania moment. I think Owens is going to get his. I think they are going to put Owens over Jericho. Drink it in, man. And I think that in this case, either way, depends on exactly how the finish is done. I'm perfectly happy with Neville getting a moment, just like I would be with Austin Aries getting a moment.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I mean, to me, the Aries-Neville match, the big winner in this one is going to be the fans. Everybody who watches that match is going to be in for a treat of monumental proportions with 2 of the best pure professionals in the world of professional wrestling and sports entertainment.
I'm shaking my head.
You're nodding your head and people can't see it.
Exactly, because we're on a podcast.
Oh, boy. You almost said the P word.
Broadcast.
No, live radio.
Right, a broadcast.
Yeah, broadcast.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and for the record, one parting shot. If Nikki Bella was supposed to be this great role model for all the little girls, why does she keep ripping her freaking top open like she's trying to pop herself out of her bra? Please. No. That's not the image you want little girls to have. Oh, I'm going to walk in class and rip off my top. No. Now, maybe if you're in sex ed in college, maybe over the age of 21, get away with that. Legal drinking age, I'm good. But no. We already had this discussion about gratuitous nudity for no profit whatsoever. Speaking of things that are tying in for WrestleMania, of course, and here's one of the things that actually make me think that, and there's that negative word again that I always use at the worst possible time. Think. ROH World Tag Team title match, ladder match. Now, Ring of Honor's website, ROHWrestling.com, has the Hardys listed as the tag team champions.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a float around the area as to whether or not who the champions are. Some people are still of the mindset that the Bucks are champions. Others are of the mindset that the Hardys are champions. So, according to Ring of Honor Wrestling's official website, I'm on there right now at 9:40 p.m. Central Daylight Time on March 28th. And it says they have the Hardys listed as the tag team champions. You know what would actually trip me the hell out? Can you imagine, rather than the Hardys dive bombing the Raw Tag Team Championship ladder match, if it's the Young Bucks? Never happened, but still.
Right. It would not happen for them. Not right now.
Now, too many cases of the red ass still going around. But I have to sit back and say, we've had time to think about this match. We've had time to deliberate about this match. And I genuinely feel, I hate to say it like this, but ROH has this match listed first on the official listing for Supercard of Honor 11 this Saturday, April 1st. It is going to be at the Lakeland Center, Jenkins Arena, 701 West Lime Street in Lakeland, Florida. It does not have a time listed, for which I'm mortally pissed. No, not even on the main promo. Go figure that one out. Oh, yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So it's going to be in the middle of all this stuff Saturday night. Your thoughts?
I know who are there, but that's really what got TNA their best ratings in the last year, was when the show was more focused on the Hardys. They started to do their expedition for gold. and in a way they've just transitioned what they were doing in TNA now over to Ring of Honor, and potentially this is where I see the potentially into the WWE. Because imagine, I mean, there's always been some friendship seemingly with Ring of Honor and WWE. Not,
More than you think.
Nothing financial, but just a friendship. Imagine if they were to walk in the door, go look at all the tag team titles that we hold from all of these places. Even if they don't even reference the names and just have all of those different belts, and walk in the door. We are the tag team champions of the universe, the WWE universe. That I think that is a way to possibly do it. That also does shine a little bit of light on Ring of Honor. That is a recognizable name in the wrestling community.
And there are talks, alleged talks, about, I believe, one of the stories that I read allegedly had talks in place between Sinclair and WWE.
Mm-hmm. Now, some of the interesting things that are happening behind the scenes involving TNA, though, with the Hardys is who owns what. Who owns Broken, who owns Delete, who owns some of the characterizations that the Hardys have done. Now, characterizations they can utilize. Matt and Jeff Hardy seemingly own their names, but is the phrase Delete, is the phrase Broken in the terms of how it's used in a wrestling context? Is that trademarked hidden by TNA some way that could impact, no pun intended, how they could use it if they come into the WWE? Have the Hardys already thought of that and have already thought of new names? Like instead of Brother Nero, it's Brother Remus, other things that they can start pulling off of that have a similar trait or trend to it, but not exactly what they were doing in TNA.
I'm actually going over to double check something right now. I am at the official website for the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and I'm doing the general search for Broken Matt Hardy. Okay, I'm in the wrong part of the website. Did it live? What the hell? Let's see. There's a certain field that I can enter. I'll go with trademarks.
The one thing that does get to me about all of this is, so let's say there is some kind of trademark, or even if it's like, well, that's our intellectual property, the phrasing Broken, the phrasing Delete. Okay, Shattered. Don't use Delete. Erase, eliminate. There's other words you can use in the English language. It's just how they position it.
Right. Okay, I'm on the right page. Broken Matt Hardy. And once again, this is at tmsearch.uspto.gov. According to this, still, and now it is in applicant status, but according to the United States Patent and Trademark Office, it's being attributed to Matt Hardy.
Okay.
And it's a live indicator from their database. The names, portraits, and or signatures shown in the mark identifies Matt Hardy, whose consent to register is made of record. So apparently he did get it in there before them. So but see, like I said, according to this, it's a live trademark. It is a live principal trademark. So, okay. Suck it. So I will reiterate the words tonight that I said to Impact for putting who in the final segment of last week's show. Suck it, Impact. Seriously, I'm not going to get started on that. I'm really not.
We did that last week. Focus on WrestleMania.
Oh, believe me, I could get so far into this conversation as far as just lambasting them for the crap they pulled. But ROH World Title match. Christopher Daniels defends against Dalton Castle. Folks, I will tell you this from my perspective right now. This match could very easily steal the show and have everybody talking in a great way for a long time to come. I would love to see Dalton Castle get his moment on this weekend, but Castle's young. He's got a bright future ahead in this business. He's already done a whole lot and has a great following. Losing this match with Christopher Daniels going over would not hurt him in the least. I do believe that on this weekend, Supercard of Honor, I believe this is Christopher Daniels' time to shine one more time. Phil?
I would like to believe that as well. I really would. I think him winning the Ring of Honor world title was an amazing thing to see. So I'm going to agree with you there. I don't see it for Dalton right now.
World Television Championship. The villain, Marty Scurll versus Adam Cole. Your thoughts?
I frigging love the villain. Now, what's interesting, it's the villain versus Adam Cole, baby, who has been the villain for a long time in Ring of Honor. So, but I am truly behind Marty Scurll. I love his wrestling. I've seen him a lot over the last year, even though he was already established and good. I think he's gotten better. I like him as Ring of Honor World Television Champion, so I'm going to say Marty on this one. Adam doesn't necessarily need it, and this might be Adam's goodbye dance.
Very possibly so. Texas Bull Rope match, Jay Lethal versus Cody. No last name needed. I think this has the unique possibility for an attention getter all the way across the board. People are going to see a side of Cody that they don't really get a chance to see on WWE programming, or have not had a really good chance to see on some of the shows that he has worked away after leaving WWE. I think that this match, because of the factor of who his father is and how much prominence he brought to the bull rope match, doing this in Ring of Honor, I think is tremendous. I love it. Jay Lethal is top tier talent 7 days a week. So honestly, you've got two of the best in this industry, two bright shining stars in this business, in Cody and Jay Lethal. I think it's going to be a hell of a match. I think it's going to be fun to watch. Phil?
I agree. And in this match, I have to go behind Cody. I unfortunately, though I agree with you that Jay Lethal is an absolute workhorse, I'm slowly starting to wonder, what else does Lethal have to show us? What else is really left for him without going up to another level? I don't know. I don't know how to say that. And that's not meant to be unkind. It's just that, where does he go next? And I don't think a win necessarily here would help him, but where I do think it would help Cody to stay relevant.
6-man tag. The Briscoes, Jay and Mark, one of my favorite teams of all time, teaming up with Bully freaking Ray, taking on Hangman Page and the Gorillas of Destiny, Tamatanga and Tangaroa. Don't see why they're not putting the words Bullet Club on the website, but we'll go into that later. I think it's going to be a knockdown drag out. I think this is going to be a solid 6-man tag. I think personally, either team will benefit, and depending on how they wrap it up, it could have a possibility of not really hurting either team. But I think on the feel-good moment, you're going to have the Briscoes and Bully Ray go over on this one.
I see that too. And I think I know of the feud between Jay Briscoe and Hangman Page. Of course, Mark got involved because he's Jay's brother. How Bully got involved, how the Gorillas got involved. I don't know those pieces so intimately. So I can see where more of this directs towards the story between Page and Jay Briscoe.
And the only thing that could make this any better is if you were to actually have Devon come on board for this match and make it an 8-man tag. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine? Think about it. Look, let's be real for a moment, folks. If you're listening live or on the replay, at Beyond Ringside on Twitter, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live, and me personally at Fast Eddie Layne, Layne. Can you think of a side that you would never bet against on the average day if you put the Briscoes and Bully Ray and Devon together as in a tag circumstance?
And if memory is wrong, I was going to say, the Dudley Boys have held the most WWE Tag Team Championships. No, not anymore. DX actually has that record. I forgot that they came back. It would be interesting to see Devon, but from all accounts, I think Devon is done. I'm actually surprised to see Bully Ray here because I thought Bully Ray was going back to the WWE again, in maybe not even in an active capacity as an on-screen talent. So I'm a little bit surprised to see him here, but I do agree. I think the feel-good moment is going to be with the Briscoes and Bully Ray.
There's also some really good matches that I'm looking forward to. Will Ospreay and Volador Jr. Versus Dragon Lee and Jay White. I think that's going to be a solid matchup. The heavy metal rebel Frankie Kazarian versus Punishment Martinez. I would pay to see this match.
I have not seen the heavy metal rebel version of Frankie Kazarian, so I could only imagine.
The Kingdom, Matt Taven and Vinny Marzaglia take on the Beer City Bruiser and Silas Young. That's another one I would pay to see because I think it's going to be a good old-fashioned knockdown drag-out.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Go ahead.
I am really surprised that Colt Cabana is going to be on color commentary. I feel that there has to be something that'll pull him into another match, but you never know.
And I just can't wait to see what happens to make Colt Cabana get in the ring. Said me never. Sorry.
Wow. Do we want to explore that or do we want to go past that?
I'm just okay. Look, Adam, I know you're listening. First off, thank you. I've never been a huge fan of Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana is an entertaining in-ring performer. Mm-hmm. I think that Cabana would not have had half the notoriety if he hadn't been bounced from WWF the way that he was. He used it to put a chip on his shoulder and push himself to allegedly become better. Also, he's really crappy at returning emails.
He's a busy gentleman.
Yeah, F that. 99.
See, I stand by my initial ruling that when they hired CM Punk, they hired the wrong guy from Chicago first. That it should have been Colt Cabana first because I really thought he offered WWE a whole lot. The different styles of wrestling. He was a bigger sized guy. He was entertaining and could talk on a microphone. And, absolutely CM Punk developed his ability to speak on a microphone a lot better. I mean, you could make the argument, yeah, he already could at Ring of Honor, but unless he was angry, you never really got much out of that range.
Right.
I had more challenges with CM Punk, especially in his early WWECW run, than I would have, I think, with a Colt Cabanas. And I still stand by that 10 years ago now that should have been the decision. I do like him as a commentator, but I'm just surprised in this capacity on Ring of Honor that he is on commentary.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, and there are two Colt Cabanas that does commentary. The Colt Cabana who genuinely understands and toes the company line and puts over the talent inside the ring. The other Colt Cabana that has nothing better to do with his time than put himself over. Time out. For years, I was known as an egocentric, one-dimensional, megalomaniacal son of a bitch. But even I knew when to check it. I've always known when to check it. Why? Because of the name that's on the checks and the person handing me money. They call the shots. The art to doing commentary in this industry, put over the freaking show first. Put over the match, put over the talent. And as you show people that you're good at what you do, they'll put you over for you. You don't have to spend half the time putting yourself over. I don't care if it's a work. I don't care if it's a shoot. There comes a point in time when it's legitimately annoying to the point where I will change the channel And there are some people who do this that don't need to do this because they're better than that. Trust me. There's some no talent hacks out there who need to be about as far away from the microphone as the North Pole to the South Pole. Unless, of course, you genuinely believe in the flat earth theory. Hi, Magellan. How you doing? But, and that's something about that. That's the part that tickles me. When the majority of the people that I have worked with who are in-ring talent, whether they are healthy or injured, they fall victim to the slot of putting themselves over. Case point scenario. I will give you this one, and this is a true scenario that would be in play were it to ever happen. If Phil is contracted to be in-ring talent on a card, but an injury occurs, and he comes up to do commentary, the first thing that I'm going to do, being in the one chair, is put him over to where he doesn't have to put himself over. And then as the next few minutes go by, we work on that back and forth Gorilla Heenan style of banner. Feeling out process. I don't sit backstage with people who I'm going to do color with or who I'm going to do commentary with and say, let's do this, this, and this. No, it's all organic. Ask anybody with whom I've ever done calls. It's all organic. I don't even, here goes, I'm not even going to say the next part. I'll say it off air. Hold on a second. So you see what I mean by that. So yes. I know folks that was rude, and I apologize for that. But Colt just seems to want to put himself over on the same level as putting over the show. And that's just wrong. He's better than that. I'm not going to say I expect more than that, but I can always hope. I'll shut up for a minute. Phil, come on in.
I don't have anything left to say after that one. But I mean, the Ring of Honor card is packed.
Oh God, yes.
We also don't know what Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin are doing. We don't know what Leompora and Marcella are doing, and then we have 2 other Women of Honor matches that are going on.
2 Women of Honor matches, yeah. Oh, okay. The CML Luchador Showcase is a Women of Honor match. Okay, I got that. And then, of course, you got Kelly Klein and Deonna Purrazzo. Should be an excellent match. And
absolutely.
And Mandy Leon and Jenny Rose versus Sumi Sakai and Faye Jackson. That should be pretty good.
No, it won't. Sumi's horrible.
Depends on the week. I've heard people say the same thing about Mandy.
I like Mandy.
I know Sumi. I'm not that familiar with Jenny Rose and Faye Jackson, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, Sumi has her...
Jenny's great. I really don't know Faye.
Sumi has her good days. Sumi has her off days. This is where you go. Mandy has her off days and sometimes has her good days.
So far, I've only ever seen Mandy have good days. So,
you what?
So far, I've only ever seen Mandy and Jenny have good days.
I can't speak about Jenny. I can speak about Mandy. On 1 or 2 occasions, there has been El Gufo or La Gufa. Okay, I probably just pissed off half the Latino listening. Como está ustedes?
There is a radio show I listen to called The Mike O'Mara Show. It is syndicated and it is on a podcast format as well. And they just introduced today the racist alarm for when they make an off-color comment. So that was just playing in my head as you said that.
That's funny.
And it's the horn from the General Lee.
Oh, geez. Okay. I may have to give it a listen. Of course, I've said the same thing about Stone Cold's podcast and Taz's show and Jim Ross's show and some of the other ones that are out. I just never listen. I'm sorry. I don't have time. I work. And even it's like, I'm sorry. There's just things I don't have time to do. But here's something we do have time to do. We're good for one more segment, right?
Yes.
Okay, we're doing that part live too, kids. Hang tight. We're going to take the top of the hour break. Hour 2 in the books. We're going to come back for the home run round. And you think we went shameless before? Hold on to your brass tacks, kids, because it's about to get. We got you right here. And remember, you must be at least this tall to ride this ride. This is Back to Basics on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and ProWrestlingRadio.net.
And this is Kenny Kip Kennedy, master of Kenny's Kempo Karate.
Hier spricht Tassilo Jung von Ringside Extreme Wrestling.
This is the Dark Child Chance Crawford, NWA National Heavyweight Champion.
This is the Temptation, Sean Tempers.
This is Jacoby Boykins, a.k.a. the Alabama Ambassador, Mr. 256.
This is the Bee's Knees, the Casper Pajamas, and the whole shebang. Johnny Gargano.
This is Bill Darrens, and you're watching, you're listening, you're experiencing Beyond Ringside, and you are a better person for it.